So we're finally here. We are at the market shift in the housing industry. Today I'm going to be talking about a few things that are going to show what it means for buyers and sellers in this market now that it's not as crazy as it was last year in 2021. You guys know that last year in 2021 was a crazy year for real estate, even for the first few months of 2022. So we've been in what's called a seller's market. So just to kind of paint a picture of what's been going on in this market, we've had homes go on the market on Monday, come off the market on Tuesday, sell for $40, $50, $60, $70,000 over the asking price, had buyers pay for an appraisal gap, had them cancel out their option period, their inspection period, all of the above. They will do anything to get into homes, pay as much money as it costs, and the sellers had all the power in the world to basically set the price and get as much money as they can walking away from the table. So that's what the real estate market had looked like in 2021 and for the first few months of 2022. But now what we're seeing is we're seeing a shift, not really a crash, because I don't think a crash is coming, but there has been sort of a correction that has started itself off. And I'll show you some numbers today that's going to explain to you why I believe this is happening, and it's going to show you what it means moving forward for everybody, buyers and sellers, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing. So first what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with the buyers. So one of the biggest reasons that I think the market has started to shift out a little bit is going to contribute towards the interest rates that we have today. So last year we were seeing interest rates as low as 2.9%, and I believe as high as about 3.7, 3.8%. So right now in today's market, I'm seeing a low of 4.9 and a high of 5.9% on the interest rates. So what that means is if you're a buyer, when the interest rates go up, all of a sudden the houses that you can afford to buy start to go down in price, right? So if last year you can afford a $350,000 price at a 2.9% interest rate, this year your monthly mortgage is going to be more if you're paying for a higher interest rate, right? That's why you want your credit score to be as high as possible so you can get a lower interest rate. But what happens now is as these interest rates start to rise, the buying power of the buyers starts to go down a little bit because now they're having to worry about being able to fit those monthly payments in. Now, this is good news and bad news for everybody. When I say that it's bad news because you have to now make sure that the numbers work, and you might even have to kind of go lower on what you were looking for. So if you were looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house in this area, you might have to look for a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in another area because you don't want your mortgage to be sky high. The reason why this is good news is because now some of the sellers are having to decrease their home prices because they're not able to find willing and able buyers to buy homes at that price. So what that means is whenever they start to decrease in the prices, that means you'll get a little bit of a price break, but also you're not going to have to overpay on homes as far as having to pay $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 over the asking price, right? So when the prices decrease, when a seller puts their house on a price decrease, that means that you not necessarily will have to always pay over what you want to pay on the house. Now, there still might be multiple offers on the property, but you're not going to have to pay so much as you were last year. Now, also with the market correcting itself, what we're starting to see is more homes are starting to hit the market. Another reason why this is good news for a buyer is because now there's more homes to choose from. Because a problem of low inventory is what caused all these record high prices and multiple offers. Well, now with more homes coming on the market, buyers are going to have more to choose from. So instead of there being one house in this neighborhood that everyone's going to have to pay for, well, now there is going to be 7 different houses in that neighborhood, and it's easier to make that decision without having to overpay for everything. So when the market starts to correct itself a little bit more, you're going to see more listings, more price decreases, because sellers have to realize now you can't just price your home $20,000 over market value and then get another $20,000 on top of that. At that point in time, everything will start to kind of level itself out. Now, if you're a seller, does this mean that you should no longer sell your house? What does this mean for you? At the end of the day, if you have to sell, you can still do so. You just have to be smart about how you're pricing your home. If you meet with a real estate agent, they tell you, hey, we're going to price the house $20,000 above market value, red flags should go up because those days are starting to kind of just fade away. There are some areas where you can kind of get away with still overpricing the house because of the inventory levels, but at the same time, every day I look at the MLS, I'm starting to see more and more houses become available on the market. And also, like I spoke earlier, there's more and more houses that have price decreases on them. So you have to be careful. So if you're a seller, yes, you can still sell your property. It's also sort of a good thing for you as well, because now you're not faced with that problem of, Well, if I sell my house, do I have somewhere else to go? Because that was one of the biggest questions that I got all of this year and last year was, hey, Alex, if I sell my home, where am I supposed to go? A lot of my clients went to new construction homes and they built their home from the ground up. But some of my seller clients said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just wait, for now because we have a good situation, this, that, and the third. But what I'm saying is with this market starting to shift a little bit more, it's gonna be easier for you to make those type of decisions. So again, the number one thing is make sure you talk with your real estate agent, price your house very, very competitively, but make sure that it's smart, right? Make sure that you're not too far above all the other homes that are on the market, because if you do, then your house is gonna sit there, and once it starts to sit for a while, then you start attracting the wrong type of buyers, and that means the ones that are gonna lowball you, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 under the asking price. They're gonna ask for all these types of repairs and concessions and all these things that you just don't want. So yes, it's still a good time for you to sell if you need to sell, and at the same time you're going to have more options out on the market for you to be able to buy as well. And remember, we still are seeing record high prices, right? The prices that are selling today have never been higher. So with that being said, it is still a very good time. You just have to be smart about it. And also just remember to have a plan in place for scenario A, B, and C. If the house sells for this much, how much will I walk away with? If it sells for that much, how much will I walk away with? And where am I going? And do I need contingencies on the next house? Okay, so another thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys some market stats from this year, April versus now, to kind of paint a picture of how the market has changed. So what I have up here is called the Market Watch. Now on the left side, you're gonna have April of this year, and on the right side, you're gonna have just this month. Okay, now these are really just the past 7 days. So this is going to be 1 week in April, and this is going to be 1 week so far, the last 7 days in June. Okay, so just 2 months ago, there was 3,592 homes on the market in 1 week. Okay, now this month, there's 5,860 on the new listings that have hit the market. Now, if you go down to sold, that number is 3,954 houses. That's all within 7 days. Okay. Now, if you go back over to April, within 1 week, there's 3,385 houses sold. Now, if you look at the comparison between the new listings and the sold, they're both in the 3,000s. If you go to this month, 5,860, and then there's 3,954. That's a huge jump comparing from April to now. So that kind of shows you a little bit about what's going on in the market as far as new homes coming on. If you also look at price decreases, back in April, there's only 1,516 homes that decreased their prices at one point. If you look at this month, there's double that amount. 3,060 homes have decreased their prices. So that kind of shows you a little bit that home sellers are decreasing their prices because they overpriced them to begin with, and also that more houses are hitting the market, and because more is hitting the market, some of the other ones are not selling because they're overpriced. So guys, definitely pay attention to this, take a close look, because this is going to shape how things are going to move forward for the next 6 months to a year. So guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions, please reach out. I have all of my contact information in the description down below. And if you could please do me a huge favor and give me a like and a subscribe, because it helps me to grow the YouTube channel. So until next time, you guys be safe.